On behalf of ICICI Securities, I'd like to welcome everyone on the call today of Wonderla Holidays Limited. From the management, we have with us Mr. George Joseph, the Joint Managing Director, and Mr. Satish Seshadri, the Chief Financial Officer. And now I'd like to hand it over to the management for their opening remarks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. We welcome you to this conference call to discuss the company's performance for this first quarter of the financial year 2021. We realize that most of you have connected to this call from your home and hope that all of you are keeping fine. The COVID-19 pandemic has had an unforeseen impact on people, communities, businesses, and the world at large. We take a moment to appreciate the monumental efforts taken by the healthcare workers, frontline staff, researchers working around the clock. The pandemic outbreak and the consequent lockdown have led us to an unprecedented disruption across industries. For the first time in the history of our operations, all our parks and the resort remain closed for an entire quarter due to the nationwide lockdown implemented to prevent the spread of the virus. As the external environment is not conducive, we made the best use of our resources to look internally and focus on factors in our control. We are proud of our team, which has worked diligently and remained united as a family during these challenging times. I would also like to mention about the CSR initiatives of the company during this period. We have effectively used our CSR budget to take care of the communities around our locations. We have initially started with distributing grocery packets during the initial lockdown period, and subsequently we have distributed PPE kits to the health workers, to the hospitals, foot operated sanitizer dispenser, mask, sanitizers, and hand wash to the communities around us. And we also been taking care that we disseminate appropriate protocol to the people in the communities around us to handle this pandemic. We are happy to announce that in TripAdvisor 2020 Travelers' Choice Awards, our Bangalore park has risen in rank to become the second best park in India, while Kochi and Hyderabad were ranked 6th and 7th respectively. In the Asian rankings, our Bangalore park remains on the top 10 for many years running and is ranked number 8. Good decisions taken during the bad times go a long way in strengthening a great organization. We prioritize the health and safety of our staff, train them to execute enhanced hygiene protocols at our parks, and re-engineered many internal processes. Our employees' hard work and toil to create a safe and healthy environment for entertaining our patrons have ensured that we are ready to commence our operations in a short notice once the approvals are received from the local government. We are keen to welcome back our patrons who are anxiously awaiting reopening of our parks. Across the world, most of the major amusement parks are reopened over the last quarter. Also home, across the country, we are seeing malls, hotels being opened. More people are taking the first steps towards venturing outdoors after being confined to their homes for months. Many are safely venturing out to their workplace as well. Some rapid changes in the consumer behavior have taken place over the last few months. This has forced companies to look into new ways to engage with their customers. As we have some of the best people in our industry on our staff, we looked for a meaningful way to utilize their resources and also reach out to our customer base. We came up with a F&B initiative, a food takeaway outlet by name Wonder Kitchen, with the first outlet opened successfully in Kengeri, Bangalore. This works as an extension of the Wonderla brand to remain engaged with the customers and also helps us to meaningfully deploy our staff and resources of our resort in Bangalore. Encouraged by the response of the first outlet, we are planning to open the similar outlets in Rajarajeshwari Nagar, Bangalore, and Kakinad, Kochi, and Hyderabad. These takeaway outlets will be set up with minimal capex and enable us to deploy our existing resources without any extra cost. In a quarter which saw unprecedented restriction of operations at all our parks, we were able to control costs effectively. Our team's efforts and cooperation have led us to significant 76% drop in our expenses. We have undertaken cost reduction and rationalization measures, including deferral of avoidable operating costs. Employee expenses are down by almost 50% on voluntary salary reduction agreed by our employees. As a result of these measures, monthly expenses have reduced from rupees 10 crores in March 2020 to 3.9 crores in June 2020. As you are aware, we have a solid asset base in the form of freehold land across 4 states. In addition to 64 acres of land in Chennai, we have across all 3 operational parks, we hold a land parcel of 224 acres, of which 95 acres have been developed and utilized for our park. We have 129 acres of excess unencumbered land available to monetize and expand our existing parks. While we hope the lockdown doesn't get prolonged, the company is in a comfortable position and has high liquidity to deal with the current situation. Even in a scenario of prolonged lockdown, where our resources get depleted to meet the ongoing expenses, we are in a highly comfortable position to raise debt at favorable rates, as we have a strong debt-free balance sheet and substantial unencumbered assets available to collateralize. Friends, amusement parks fulfill human desire to roam, play, and experience thrills for which there is no real substitute. They will continue to provide a unique and irreplaceable form of value with memories to cherish for a lifetime. As the rides in our parks are spread over acres of land, social distancing measures will be easier to implement. All our rides have been maintained in optimal conditions throughout the lockdown. I would also like to inform you that the Indian Association of Amusement Park Industries, our industry association, has requested the state governments to permit reopening of the amusement parks. The IRP has pointed out that the mental health of the population is severely affected and the stress levels need to be lowered. It is essential to de-stress the population by active outdoor and indoor activities, giving them a holistic recreation. As mentioned earlier, we are ready to reopen our parks immediately once the authorities permit us. We look forward to welcome back our customers and soon have our parks filled with smiles, laughter and screams, which we are missing hitherto. As a team are united to face the challenges, and our value system binds us to tackle the situation and emerge stronger. We remain optimistic and excited to the next phase. Friends, with that, let us start the question and answer session. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handset while asking questions. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the queue assembles. To ask a question, please press star and 1. The first question is from the line of Rohit Potti from Marshmallow Capital. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity, sir. First, I want to mention that I really enjoyed reading your annual report. It really mentions a lot of what the company is doing right now. So my first question is on your new venture of the kitchen, Wonder Kitchen. In case of Wonderla, the amusement park, there is no competition. If I had a choice, I would not go anywhere except to the Wonderla parks to have fun. But that is not the case in case of the restaurant or takeaway food business, where there's a lot of competition which doesn't allow most of the players to get good margins. So this kitchen business that you've entered, is it a long-term a strategy to be in this business over the long term, or is it just to keep the employees engaged till situation normalizes?
Mr. Rohit, I should mention to you that this is an idea which you have brainstormed and brought out during the lockdown, but I think this is going to be an alternate income stream for the company going forward. So this is going to be a permanent alternate income stream. And initially for the first 6 months, we'll experiment and see and study the market. We'll expand. Right now, as I mentioned in my call, we have a second outlet will be opened in Rajarajeshwari Nagar on 15th of August. And by end of August of this month or early next month, we'll have the Kochi outlet, and thereafter in Hyderabad. So I agree there is competition. At the same time, we are in food business over the past 20 years with starting off Kochi Park. We have about 6 to 7 restaurants in each location, and our signature dishes of the resort are really enjoyed by the people around Bangalore and also people in Kenkeri. So we have a good reception. The response is extremely good, and the feedback which we get from the customers are extremely good. We get repeat crowd. And on almost about 80% of the sales are on account of the walking people. Then we have tied up with Zomato and Swiggy and our own delivery boys. We have spread across all the nearby apartments and business places about the Wonderla, the takeaway outlet, and we are confident that it will be a success.
Understood, sir. So is it possible to get a little more clarity on broadly the margins or the returns on capital employed for this business, or is it too early and it's better to ask this question maybe a year down the line?
Mr. Rohit, I will tell you some numbers on the basis of the initial experience. Number one, the capex is very low because we have used all the kitchen equipments of the restaurants in the park, in the Bangalore park. You may ask me what will happen when the parks reopen. In Bangalore Park, we are designing a centralized kitchen. That means the kitchen equipments of the individual restaurants will be no more required. So there is no need to replace the items which are taken from the Bangalore Park. So we have kept the capex at a very low level. The only capex is only the advance rental, 10 months advance which are given towards the rent. The rent is around 50,000, I believe, 55,000 or 50,000. And we are maintaining a margin of about 50 to 60% margin on the food items. Of course, for Zomato and Swiggy, there is a payment service charges we have to pay them. But our own delivery boys, when we engage, there is no service charges. So it is profitable. And we are scaling up the operation. The break-even level is something like about 13,000 rupees per day. Yesterday we have clocked 17,000. The initial day we were about 25,000. So, but then we lost in between about 10 to 12 days on account of the containment zone declared in Kenkeri area. So on an average we are clocking around 14 to 15,000, and the sale till yesterday is around 5 lakhs, 4.9 lakhs. So it is profitable.
Understood. Once again, I appreciate the transparency. in the calls. The next question I have broadly is on Chennai. What is your plan there? Do you intend to continue construction, or do you want the entire thing to subside before you decide to go ahead with the construction?
No, Mr. Rohit, you should know that they already invested 109 crores in Chennai, and the approvals are all ready, and so there is no point in deferring the construction. Once the normalcy starts, we will definitely commence. But then, once the normalcy starts, first priority now we'll reopen the park. So once we reopen the park, we know we can gauge the customer response to the park reopening. We'll gauge it for some time, then only we'll start construction. We'll go for the construction of Chennai Park. And we have the initial plan was about 330 crores. Satish, 330 or 360 crores?
330 crores, sir. 330 crores.
30 crores. So 109 crores we have invested. Definitely we are going ahead with the Chennai. We have no second thought on it, but only timing. We will study the response of once we open the existing park. Then we will take a decision about the date of commencement. In the meantime, we are making another market survey on the Chennai, and we have already given the mandate to NENSEL. They are not able to commence the work because of the COVID pandemic. So that report will also be available. Thereafter, we will start the construction.
Okay, that was helpful, sir. And my last question. So amusement park in general has been one of the most, or if not the most affected industry because you've not been able to open yet. So I'm just curious to know so the kitchen business is of course great to see, but what other internal work has been going on from the management's point of view? How have you been keeping busy, and what has been the primary focus on over the last 3 months internally?
Mr. Rohit, I should tell you that this period of lockdown or no activity we have used for engaging with our prospective and existing customers, our patrons. And also the most important stakeholder, second important stakeholder as far as we are concerned is our employees. So we have profitably used this area to engage with our customers and the employees. So we have in fact, we have been studying the competitor landscape over a period of time, right from the first day of the lockdown, and we have seen that other industries, especially amusement parks and cinemas, for example, PVR or Lulu Mall in Kerala, how they have been communicating with the customers, and also across the globe, major parks like Disney, the Six Flags and Universal and all that, what they are doing. And we find that in our study in India, if you look at PVR is engaging in the social media and other platforms. PVR is very active. They engage around 50% of the total engagement. And Lulu is also active. But among the amusement parks, we are the most active players who are engaging our customers in a big way. So we have been continuously coming out with, that initially we started with empathy, concern, then we started talking business. And so like that, we have been engaging with our customers over a period of time. And we come out with, and our social media responses and the reviews are very encouraging. And as I mentioned to you, among the industries, among the amusement parks, we have the largest, reviews and the positive comments coming on Wonderla. So we, on a daily basis or on a weekly basis, we keep on sending videos and messages and engagement, and it is highly appreciated by our customers. Satish, you can mention about the customer survey we have taken. Before that, I should also tell you, before Satish takes over, I should also tell you we are on a daily basis engaging with our leadership team. We have a Zoom call with the leadership team every day from 11 o'clock almost going up to about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock at times. And in addition, we engage with all our staff once in a month. And we have a family meet, Zoom family meet of our staff. Every month, we meet our staff on a town hall meeting. The town hall meeting normally it takes place in the park. In the park, what happens in the busy hours, we have to start the operations of the park by about 10:30. So the town hall meeting will be confined to about maximum half an hour to 45 minutes. But these days, the town hall meeting runs for about 3 to 4 hours. And there we engage people with their talents. We encourage people to spot the people. And occasionally they come out with their presentations and on well thought out subjects. Wonderfully, we are able to spot large number of heroes in among our people during this pandemic, because we ask them to present a subject and they have been giving wonderful ideas, which is deliberated in a very elaborate way across the path, and we keep the people engaged, and that passion is burning throughout. Yeah, now Sadish, you can take over.
Yes, sir. Sir, I would like to also add one more point. We have a board-level strategy team also set up. Upon the park opening, we are strategically looking at various initiatives like digital marketing, data analytics, branding, loyalty program, and relaunching our logo. So these efforts are there, and how we have to go ahead, the pipeline for this, you will see these things evolving slowly in the coming years. It is not a 6 months job, it's a long-term strategies are being worked out. And also we have got innovative ideas from our leadership team and our staff members, which have been collated and which have been kept for future experiences, enhance the future customer experiences. And on the feedback, customer feedback, we did a local survey with our business development and business development partners team to find out the interest after the COVID gets over. And we are very happy to say that about 70% of the people are very, very optimistic, and they would like to visit the park when the COVID situation gets over, because they want to have that fun and thrill. Now everybody is locked down and jailbreak. It's like a jailbreak. People would like to come out and have that energized fun under our umbrella. So, and also we had a small discussions with some of the schools. The schools were also apparently positive, saying that if the government allows, yes, and there is no COVID issues, we are keen to again bring the students. It's a great experience, learning and get together for everybody is what the feedback we got. So by and large, the people are positive once the situation gets cleaned.
Thank you. That was a very, very detailed answer. I'm sorry, just one last small question from my end.
Interrupt. May I request you to please return to the
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you very much. The next question is on the line of Saurabh Patwa from HDFC Mutual Fund. Please go ahead. Saurabh, your line is unmuted. You may go ahead.
Thanks for taking my question. I just wanted to understand your thoughts on the following. See, as everyone knows, the parks and rides are designed to have crowds. But as the things are changing, and assuming things may remain this for a longer period, maybe because of vaccine or the perception in the mind of people, will this require change in the way the business is structured in terms of the rides, whether they'll be needed to occur? So currently the ride would have been constructed to accommodate more and more riders, so that our throughput increases. But your thoughts on how things may be required to change in terms of rides, in terms of shows which you have, and the way you have the waiting periods are being designed, and how things are happening globally. Your thoughts on the thing?
Sadish, you can take that question.
Yes, it is a very valid question. And what we did a capacity measurement, and we arrived at what is the theoretical capacity if you have to leave one seat, and leave the next seat for the next visitor. And how our restaurants are placed, the design and voice and everything. We have come and arrived at considering the space. We have about 30 acres, 35 acres of development of park. So So there is a huge space, and there is practically the social distancing is very much can be implemented. By taking all these features, minimum 3,000 people in Bangalore Park can be accommodated, and 2,500 people in Kochi and Hyderabad Park can be accommodated with all COVID required hygiene protocols in place. So we are very confident, and there are quite number of rides, and we have done a clear measurement between the theoretical capacity and the practical capacity which we can work out.
Just one added question to this. When you consider this theoretical capacity, this would be on an average daily basis. But your footfalls are not linear, right? They are like lumpiness. There is lumpiness on the weekend, and there would be, and again, more of that on during the vacation time. So how will this impact your profitability? Because currently what we see is the blended basis. If you have 3,000 people on a year, that's an average, right? But a lot of it would, so this will impact your margins severely, or how do you see that, sir?
See, the first, as George sir said, the first priority is opening the park, giving to the customers most hygiene and safety protocols in place. I'm sure Wonderla is a place where we can exercise those hygiene and safety protocols by the size and the rights, what experiences what we have. That is the first thing. The next thing is the profitability. See, globally what they have done, for example, Disney, I want to just share a Disney case.
Yeah.
We also would like to keep our bookings through online. Okay, less of cash transaction, less of physical interferences. Okay, and in that case, what Disney has done is they have capped the number of people in each of the days. Okay, based on the disruption from the visitors, we could also in the future we can cap for some time. Okay, we don't want to go beyond this number. Okay, and then take it up gradually and improve the cap gradually once the COVID situation goes off for good. Okay, so these are the things which international practice have done, and we are also equally ready to adapt these situations.
Understood. Thank you, sir, and all the best. If I have any more questions, I will join in the queue.
Thank you. Next question is on the line of Kaustubh Pawaskar from Sharekhan. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Good morning, sir. Thanks for giving me the opportunity. So just coming back to the international understanding or international park understanding, have they seen improvement, sequential improvement in footfalls post the reopening, or still there's some a discussion in terms of consumer or travelers visiting the park?
See, basically we are all social animals. We are all waiting to go out, and they go, and it's like a jail the situation with COVID. And we are sure the pent-up demand has shown up very well in China. I mean, from what I learned from the Disney Disney quarterly report, that China has been doing good numbers. Florida, they opened, but they had issues because of higher number of cases registered. Otherwise, Florida also, they said the numbers were going up. See, so if you see the situation in China, Florida, and the theaters which are opened in Hong Kong, all of this have shown very good response from the visitors. And as we say, everybody are talking on phone and on video conferencing, okay, with your relatives and others. Everybody want to have a get-together now. And international travels is going to be very minimized for some few months. So these are the best places for outing where hygiene and safety is going to be kept at the highest level. Okay, and we will be assuring those things. So we are sure we will have a good response when our park get open.
Right, sir. So on the expenses front, you said that your monthly expenses came down from around 10 crores to now they are around 4 crores. Post the reopening of the park, can we expect these expenses going up on monthly basis, considering the sanitization and other cost element related to the hygiene?
Okay. See, we normally, if you say the average expenditure per month. If you see our 2019 or 2020 results, you can see our average expenditure is about 14 crores. Okay, and in March month, you have to understand that 15 days there was a lockdown, and the expenses had come down also. And our March month expenses was around 10 crores. Now our average expenses is about 4 crores on account of salary reduction, voluntary salary cut, about 50% plus. Then the rationalization of expenses of marketing, maintenance, and except for AMCs, all other maintenance, only preventive maintenance is happening. No breakdown maintenance now. And number 3, even our own overheads are under control. But once we open up, these expenses have to occur. Okay, so we expect these expenses going to go up. And on the variable costs, on the hygiene and safety, we have earmarked the 50 rupees per customer visitor. Okay, once we open up, in terms of the sanitization, in terms of giving hand sanitizers, thermal checks, controls, cashless transactions, all that we have earmarked about 50 rupees. Okay, this is what this could be a variable expenses types.
Right, sir. And so one more, like for us, around 25 to 30% cost is from the non-ticketing revenues, and which is largely the F&B part of the revenues. So post the opening of the park, I can understand that ticketing revenues would normalize. But do you think that F&B revenues will also come back on track, or it will take some time?
Our discussions says that F&B will be in track, but the retail could get hampered because people might not buy. If you see even the malls and everything, there is a hit on the retail apparel, shoes, cosmetics. Okay, so people might spend less on that. But F&B, we are sure, because we are not priced our F&B at higher price. Ours is in par with the market, and our packed items, it is only the MRP. Okay, so if you buy a chips packet outside the park, or if you buy the chips packet inside the park, there is no difference. So we don't see any issue on the F&B price.
And sir, how much would be retail of our total revenue?
Retail is about in the non-ticket revenue. Okay, it's about 45%.
45%. And of the non-ticketing revenue, 55% is F&B.
This is about 55-60 is F&B, and 40-45% is retail. Yeah.
Yeah, retail including costumes.
Yeah, including costumes and packed foods. Including costumes and packed foods.
Yeah. And so one last one, if I can. So you said that you have been regularly interacting with your existing customers, and you are putting up the videos. So what kind of response you are getting from the Indian consumer? Because the psyche of the Indian consumer compared with the global consumer is a little bit on a conservative end. But what kind of sense you are getting from the Indian consumer?
See, as I told earlier, everybody want to have a outing, and once things is getting normalcy, and they would also look at a place where they are comfortable in terms of hygiene and safety. Okay, I would not risk my family in a small eat-out. Okay, I would rather go into a normal eat-out, correct? So when you have that type of thing, you have to see who is the best in the leader to provide all this. And we are confident we are able to provide all this. So we are also equally taking care of our visitors, our employees, and our stakeholders. So this has been our DNA this long, and we will continue that. So that will give a lot of comfort to the visitors.
Right, sir. Thank you very much.
Permit me to add that from the feedback received, we find that people are impatient and they want to come out and enjoy. But at the same time, there's this little fear factor in their mind about the pandemic, and that is also there.
Right, sir. Thank you very much for the understanding, and all the best for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question is from the line of Anuj Sharma from M3 Investments. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Thank you for this opportunity. I wanted to ask you on acquisitions or opportunities for that. Now, in last call, you did say that on one of the distressed funds that we have a distinct model and we would not want to. So I just wanted to ask you, how distinct it would be. Couldn't we just buy it and convert into our model, capital constraints being one thing, but apart from that, are models so distinct that they cannot be evolved into a singular model?
Now, right now, we have no plans for any acquisition, and there are a lot of, parks which are ready to be sold, but we have no idea at all. We have no idea, not because, of course, that our model is distinct. That is one reason, but right now we have no plans on account of the given situation. But as mentioned in the last call, we are keen to operate parks in case they come on a partnership without any financial investment, operate our model and prove it as a successful model, which you mentioned also last call that we have been negotiating with a major park. So that is the model we are looking at.
Okay. So the fact that you can operate and possibly turn around means that you could evolve the model to something which is close to yours. But let's suppose you get a distressed asset. Wouldn't you want to consider that? Just trying to evaluate, why are we so averse to not looking at a distressed opportunity? I do understand, the uncertainty, but let's suppose you get some clarity on the uncertainty. Do you still want to?
Sir, can I take this question, sir?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Firstly, we are already committed to Chennai project because the land is there. We have also purchased the right. So, which means my capital commitment for the near future is blocked. Okay, if I have to buy another distressed asset, it has to be through some other financing, number one, which may not be appropriate at the current times, number one. Number two, we also understand it is not only the capital what we are buying the operations of the park. In times we find that the way we operate the park by optimizing the energy, optimizing the manpower, optimizing the resources is not applicable in many of the parks. Which means if we buy out, these things may not be suitable to our running. Okay, so that's why we are more forward-looking on operator model than a buyout model.
All right. Another question is on your capital allocation. Now that we are thinking of Wonder Kitchen, which is probably not completely correlated, I was just thinking that wouldn't you or maybe better off by extending in something like an entertainment which, would reinforces your brand and consumers would remain connected. So kitchen would be something, but it's a completely altogether a different game. So did you think about something which is closer to your existing business model, which would enhance your brand, maybe merchandise, more focus on that or something like that?
As we mentioned in the previous query, by our strategy team is looking at the digital marketing, data analytics, branding, all this is in the queue, and this will all come in the near future. We are taking one at a time. We have just taken the takeaway outlet now. You will see some more other things coming at a later stage. Within the park or through the park, it will all happen.
Okay. And my last question is, you said you are trying this new strategy or the new venture for 6 months. What would be the key things for you to decide, whether to move ahead or not? Because you can keep moving and, while it will capital light asset because you have spare kitchen equipments, soon once you are exhausted, the capital investments will be as any other restaurant business. So, how do you decide that this is it and will focus on parks earlier, or this can be a very, very significant opportunity for you?
Basically the sales should exceed the break-even level. And we understand in the beginning it may not even touch at the break-even on many days, but then over a period of time, whether the sales are going up. So in case the sales are going up and we are able to establish a lead in the area, definitely it will be a success, and then the profitability of the existing business. And thereafter we will see whether we need to have signature dishes of Wonderla. Now we are having common items like biryani, tandoori, roti and sabji and all that. So these items which could be cooked in the central kitchen and then brought here and spread across the location, distributed across the location. So we have also a facility where the instant the fresh food can be cooked in the outlet. So what are the signature dishes which the Wonderla can bring in, which can cater to the elite class? So like any other food business, we'll watch the situation, and if it is proven to be a success, we'll definitely scale up and become another business model, another revenue model, as I mentioned it earlier.
Okay. But on the capital intensity, as you said, it's capital light, but it will eventually be as capital heavy as any other restaurant business. That advantage will go away.
Yeah, but later once we open more the outlets, the capital cost will go up. But then we can also, by that time, we can have an experience on the profitability of the existing business. So we will justify the additional capital investment. If we are not able to justify the additional capital investment, we may not go.
All right. But the board and the management is clear that if it doesn't work out, you're willing to scale back and, let's suppose, bring it down to zero as well. Let's suppose, because
yeah. That is we are clear in our mind. In case after 6 months we are not able, we find that it is not successful, it has not taken off, it is remaining at around 10,000 rupees level, we might scale back.
All right. Thank you so much.
However, the feedback from the customers have been till now very good, and we are also able to leverage on the central kitchen facilities which we have at the park and the resort. So anywhere we put, the cost positiveness will be there for us. Just to add up. And I don't think that eventuality of scaling back or rolling back will happen, because every day our reception is going up, the opinions are better, and we find that it is being accepted in the locality. And as people come to know by word of mouth, definitely we'll be the leading takeaway outlet in the area.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we take the next question, we would like to remind participants that you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Gaurav Agarwal from Bowhead Investments. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Sir, just a couple of questions. Like many people are kind of very, in terms of water park, there is a increased fear that, water park offers more fear and more, disease possibility as compared to rides. So would you have any kind of idea of the number of people who come to your park? How many people come mainly for these water rides, etc.? And how many come for these dry rides or roller coaster kind of a thing?
Yeah, in fact, water parks are more thrilling to people, and everybody is coming. Almost about 90% of them will use the water park. Of course, after using initially they go to the dry park, and then afternoon they go to the water park. But we also understand that operating water park at the current times is more riskier from the point of view of spread of the virus. So initially, as per our protocol, which are planned for reopening, water park may not be operational for some time. So we may only operate land rides for some time, and thereafter, after normalcy is established, and after people come out of the fear, and we'll slowly open the water park. But then water parks are really thrilling, and people really enjoy them. Most of them do not want to miss the water park.
But sir, if you are not going to, operate the water parks, willingly or unwillingly, but can you charge the same ticket price to them? So you will have to, I think, take a substantial cut down on the ticket prices, right?
Yeah, all that is factored. In fact, we have also decided on the pricing. Can you just elaborate our discussions on the pricing, Sadish?
Sir, I think we will not be able to reveal the pricing now, sir. In this call.
No, you can give an indication, not to worry.
Based on the government guidelines, things could change. I think we have got different scenarios. It will be too early on this, sir.
No problem, sir. I think that is fair. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. The next question is from the line of Milan Shah from Urmil Research Consultancy. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Shah, we are with you.
Hello. Which city is selected in Odisha?
You are breaking, Mr. Shah. We are breaking.
Hello.
Mr. Shah,
Can you hear me, sir?
it's very feeble. Your voice is very feeble. Can you speak a bit louder?
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Better.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Mr. Shah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Now, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, you are better now.
Okay. Which city is selected for Odisha expansion, sir?
Come again.
Hello.
Come again, please.
Hello. Which city is selected for Odisha, which is planned for next expansion?
Yeah, Bhubaneswar is still in our radar.
Okay.
But on account of the current situation, we have not made much of headway and progress in Orissa after that. So the government is still in touch with us. So right now we can say that we are kept it in a back burner. And definitely that is still in our radar, and we will take it up at the appropriate time.
Thank you. Next question is from the line of Radhakrishnan from Alpha Street. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity. In the parks business, you mentioned about the costs that have been put in place to achieve safety and health measures already, right? I remember it as 50 rupees per customer. Have they been expensed already, or will it be reflected in the future ticket prices?
It will be expensed by us, and this will be incorporated in the future. I mean, it's part of the ticket price, of course. It can't be a separate line item because, for example, sanitization of rides, you can't put volume there. Okay, so it will be part of the ticket price, but it will be expended by Wonderla. See, it is, for example, one ride completes, then we will sanitize the entire ride so that the next set of people can accommodate. In a restaurant, if an area table is clean, used or something, we have to sanitize that area. So that's how, and we have to keep in appropriate places, we have to keep hand sanitizers. Then we have to help them with other measures. So all this is factored in, and we came up with a possible cost of about 50 rupees per could be there.
All right.
Sadish has been very reluctant to reveal about the pricing, but I as the finance director, would like to tell you that we will definitely have a penetrative pricing at the initial time of opening. At the time of opening, we'll have penetrative pricing to encourage people to come back. Once the people come back, maybe this penetrative pricing may be for about 15 days. Thereafter, we'll go back to the normal pricing. But normal pricing also, when we say normal pricing, if the water park is not there, accordingly it will be there will be a discount basing on non-availability of the water park. Definitely, our profitability and EBITDA will be under strain on account of the additional 50 rupees. But over a period of time, we will make up once normalcy comes back.
Got it. So you mentioned that your cloud kitchen initiative, Wonderla Kitchen, it's a long-term plan. So what sort of margins are we seeing on that line?
Yeah, we are currently fixed our price basing on a margin of 50 to 60%.
Wonderful. Last question.
Yeah, please.
Just sort of, you mentioned that you have daily brainstorming activities with senior leadership. Any color of any new initiatives that is in the pipeline, like the Cloud Kitchen initiative? Are you looking at digital games or entertainment or any other brand extensions, or any color on that would be great.
Satish has given some idea about the areas in which we are going, but I should confess that it will be too early to mention any of the initiatives in this particular call. Probably in the next call, we'll be able to concretize some certain activities, and definitely we'll be in a position to inform you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Those are my questions.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I now hand the conference over to the management speakers for closing remarks. Over to you.
So thank you very much. In fact, we had a relatively shorter session in the present call. We used to have longer sessions in the earlier call. So naturally, at a time when business is not there, the balance sheet is the P&L account is there is no income, but only expenditure. Naturally, the concern is about the future. You have really expressed your concern about the future and the future going forward as far as Wonderla is concerned. I reiterate that a lot of activities are going on in the nil activity, no activity period. Currently, we are going through. A lot of activities are going in the background, and we will definitely re-emerge as a very, very stronger player once we come back to normalcy. We need all your good wishes. Thank you very much for your insightful questions. We really enjoyed it. Thank you very much.